We've actually added £250,000 to our business in just over 18 months. And one of the great things that's come out of that as well is we've been able to free up more time for ourselves. My name's Mark from Stonehouse Homes Estate Agents.
And I'm Karen.
We set up Stonehouse Homes 10 years ago now. We basically started with nothing. No properties for sale, no properties for rent. We were completely from scratch estate agents and letting agents.
The first property we took on, I had to make my friend sell a house. So that's how we started. We started from zero. We've been trading for 10 years. We felt like busy servants, just serving everybody. I had no time with the kids, we had no money. This really wasn't the vision that I had for myself. This wasn't the reason why I came back from Tenerife.
It was really, really difficult because we came back from Tenerife for the kids and for a better life, and it didn't seem to be working out that way.
I really felt we'd made a massive, massive mistake, and this is when we started to look for something else to take us forward.
I knew something needed to change in the business, and I was looking for answers to try and change that around. And I came across the agent Rainmaker from an advert. So I contacted agent Rainmaker from that, and that's where the journey to boot camp ended up. I booked the boot camp. Karen wasn't happy about it, but I booked it anyway. I went down there on my own, and I was sat in that room with all these other letting agents. I just froze. There was all these people here. They seemed to be doing well, but they're coming here to be better, I guess, and I didn't know what to do. I knew our business at the time with sales and lettings was doing a turnover of £150,000 a year, but it wasn't making us money. And I thought, you know, if I can get this to 250,000, that's another £100,000. That's making me money. And while I was sat there in the room, there was people there already with 250,000, £500,000 businesses, and they weren't making money. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? No matter what I do, I'm not going to get any better. And I was working through the numbers, and I'm thinking, I'm looking at my business the wrong way. I'm looking at my business on turnover. I'm not looking at my business on making a profit. My great takeaway from that was, apart from all the ideas, was that it was a profit that matters. What I came away from there is that I had to change the structure of the business. I had to change the business model, and I had to change it now.
When Mark returned back from boot camp with all these ideas, we're going to charge for this, we're going to charge for that. Absolutely no. My landlords won't have any of that. Absolutely no way. This was going to happen. After
having a flat no and not bringing in these changes, we moved down the road 18 months later and nothing had changed. We're still doing all the work and none of the money.
I was looking a bit around on the internet and I spotted the ARX Mastery. So signed up. I thought, some of this looks fun. Sat down, watched it and got more and more intrigued. Then I spotted Tom Son, who was sat right behind Mark at the boot camp, and he'd gone from 78,000 turnover and he'd added £1 million to his business, and we hadn't taken any action in the same time frame.
I was a little bit annoyed with myself that I didn't push Karen further to implement these changes and push on with it.
Afterwards, I said to Mark, we need to be joining ARX, we need to be doing this. After joining ARX, I knew that we needed to recruit specific people for specific roles, because I realised that the team that I had weren't A players, and attended boot camp with a key member of staff. The numbers that I came up with were phenomenal. Didn't think this was ever going to be achievable. I then came back from boot camp with no staff, and we started to work through the numbers and started to implement changes. The initial focus was money. We needed to hit £250,000. It was all about money. After we'd started to make the changes, Mark got very sick and he was in hospital for quite a while. That was when I felt like there was a big avalanche coming at me, and all of a sudden I had hardly any staff. This is the point, is when I realised that for quite some time I'd hidden behind Mark.
I think we realised when I was ill that obviously Karen would need to know more about the business side of things. She stepped up to the role, she's taken on more responsibility. ARX has helped with that because of the coaching side of things and being able to have that person to talk to if you're struggling with something. Kate was always on the end of the phone or on an email to just help push things through if she was sort of struggling with something.
Mindset was massive to me, and with that I had the strength to pull us through, and Mark made a full recovery.
The main crux of it was from being ill, is that we realised that it wasn't all about the money, it was also about the time together to spend away from the business, and that's when we started to restructure ourselves again to allow us that extra time.
We recruited some amazing people that has transformed the business with us. We no longer answer the phones. I now have time to think about strategies to grow the business and continually come up with new ideas.
What we've been able to do through ARX is to get ourselves to a position where we don't work for free. Everybody gets a bill. There's so many layers of charges in the sales and the letting side that we've introduced that we now know our worth, and we charge that to the customer if they want us. We've actually added £250,000 to our business in just over 18 months. We're able to step out of the business a little bit more, leave the A team to run things on a day-to-day basis, and we can spend more time with ourselves, with our families, and just enjoy life more.
As a result of freeing up our time, we're able to go away for 3 weeks and renew our vows, which is something that would be very close to my heart for a long time.
It was great to be away for 3 weeks and not have to worry about the business. It was great to know that while I was away, things were working without me being there.
I think the big takeaway for me being in Mexico was when I saw the holiday photographs of the actual vows, and I had a genuine smile. For me, it was all about, we're just this little letting agent in Lancashire. To be able to achieve so much from a small portfolio just by introducing different layers. We're not stressed anymore. I look forward to coming into work, and I'm very excited about what the future holds for us. Find your community, take the leap, and win the life you've dreamed of. You never know when that time you've freed up will be very important.